Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look and checking out the abilities of Jean Baptiste, who is going to be the next gold brick character coming to the game. Visually he is of course going to look quite a lot like the Saints and Sinners character Jean Baptiste, because it's the same guy. As you can see, he's got like a bandaged right hand. He has got like a proper old school stereo around his waist. If you have played Saints and Sinners, I'm sure a lot of this is making sense to you. Like maybe he gets injured in that game and basically he's representing that injury here. We do have other characters in the past that have come from other game series that have the injuries of that game. For instance, Lee has got a bandage on his arm in one of the characters that he has, unfortunately. Where he got bit, and that's kind of what's happened here, I guess. Maybe when we look at him on the left hand side, we can see his avatar, and it is a unique avatar obviously because it's the first ever character to come to the game that is Jean Baptiste. If we go down to his stats, as an S class character with 30 veteran rings, he has 5,270 attack, 3,292 defense, and 3,962 HP. So fairly balanced stats considering he is quite a damage dealer. He is considered a damage dealer down below as well. He is an alert character, of course, holding that pistol on the right hand side. Now we'll go over all of his abilities. Now I have done a rundown of the sneak peek of Jean Baptiste, but we're going to see basically how all this stuff works. His rush is called Holy Baptism. It's a 76 AP cost rush. Deal 800% damage to up to 3 enemies. Up to 2 enemies get stunned for 2 turns. All teammates gain 20 AP. So this is fairly similar to Mercer's rush, where Mercer hits 3 people, I believe actually for 800% damage. Those enemies get stunned for 2 turns. However, the wording here with the stun is up to 2 enemies get stunned for 2 turns generally means that if you do take down any of these enemies or all 3, 2 other enemies can potentially get stunned. We'll see if that's how it's going to work with the gameplay. The all teammates gain 20 AP is a really nice little bonus, because obviously you can have characters getting their rush quickly or follow-up characters who gain extra bits of their rush now and again, and Jean Baptiste will just take them over the top. You could potentially command rush Jean Baptiste as well, and he would give enough characters the amount of AP they require to rush naturally, so they would get a natural next turn as well, which could be really beneficial in a lot of situations. Considering it's all teammates as well, you could potentially have a lot of rushes going off turn 2. Okay, now we'll rush, and it's kind of the moment of truth. We'll do a command rush, and this is just to see if we take down more than 2 enemies, if 2 other enemies get stunned for 2 turns. So it does look like we're going to be able to take down the 3 here, and it does indeed stun the other characters. We did have Dayu resist, but we also had Georgia here get stunned. So if you take down 3 characters with his rush, the remaining 2 characters have the potential to be controlled. You did also see the AP gain from my teammates, but I did of course take damage here because I am exhausted, and this is something you always have to be aware of with unnatural AP gain. Outside of just hitting a normal attack, you're going to take damage if you are exhausted. Now in the sneak peek I did say this was very important to how his basically overall power would be, and this is actually really good. If you do take out characters, and he's going to do a lot of damage against strong characters, this is a heavy hit. You can do attack versus strong just to make sure you take characters out. He's going to be able to have the potential to stun 2 other characters. Of course, there is the downside that stun resist is always everywhere, but I am seeing a little bit less and less nowadays. So basically Baptiste here could run riot a little bit if you do use him on your attack teams. I like the rush, and I think it is a really nice addition that it does stun 2 extra enemies. We'll see what else he has to offer. We'll go across to the active skill, and it is Guardian Shield and AP gain. It has an initial cooldown of turn 2, cooldown of 2, up to 3 teammates get Guardian Shield. This character gains 40% AP. So very straightforward and very kind of unique, honestly. We don't have, I think, too many characters that do this, not to this standard at least. It has got quite a quick cooldown as well. You can do this turn 2. The 3 teammates getting Guardian Shield is nuts. But the only downside to this is I do see Guardian Shields as being a bit more of a defense team thing. But I guess it could deny AP, and that alone is good. He does gain AP himself, so it's not like he's going to miss a turn to do this. But like I said before, if he is exhausted, he is going to take quite a severe amount of damage here. If he had 300 exhaust, he would take 1200 damage. If he had the 800 exhaust from someone like Marge, he would of course take 3200 damage. So you've got to be very aware of how much damage he could potentially take if he is exhausted. Okay, so we are on turn 2 where I can do the active skill of Jean Baptiste. The issue we've got here is he would not get a natural rush if he hadn't been attacked, because if he does get 40% AP, that's only going to be 31, and it will be enough in this situation for him to get his rush, but with a basic attack, he can only get 40. So you will need an 8% weapon, potentially more, or potentially him getting attacked like he did in this little test here. If I do the active, I'm actually just going to miss out. So it's actually 30 AP that he gets, not 31. It isn't rounding up. And you can see 3 characters got Guardian Shield. It did go to himself, so it isn't just going to go to teammates. And it could be based on the amount of HP characters have. As you can see, Rick has the highest HP, and he didn't receive a Guardian Shield. But it could also just be completely random. Now, just to test it out once more, this is with one 8% weapon. I did take a shield so that Jean Baptiste would not take any damage at all, and you can see when I do his active with one 8% weapon, he will get a natural rush. So I would say it is definitely worthwhile taking one 8% weapon on an attack team with JB here, and obviously we've got Rick, who has the base weapon of 8% AP to all characters, so that is quite a good combo. It also gave Rick the Guardian Shield this time round and not Frost. As you can see, Frost's HP is a lot higher than Rick's. It does look like the 3 lowest HP characters are the ones that are definitely getting that Guardian Shield. So kind of an interesting active skill, honestly. The first time round when he does it, if you do have that 8% weapon, he'll get a natural rush. Afterwards, it will be relying on actually being attacked, unfortunately, because obviously that 8% weapon only works once. It only works at the beginning of the wave. When he does it 2 turns later, he could basically run out of the sequence if you do hit auto. But it is kind of interesting. The Guardian Shield is going to help people out, just keeping them alive. There aren't too many damage-dealing defense teams at the moment, and Guardian Shields don't stop things like exhaust damage or trauma damage, which is where the majority of defense team damage seems to be coming at for the moment, or infection as well. It only stops pure damage, like percentage-based damage. So it isn't maybe as useful as it might be in the future if more offensive-style defense teams come out. But this is going to be very useful in like survival road and farming. Basically, he's going to have Guardian Shields everywhere. The only downside is even if everyone's got a Guardian Shield, he will pop this just for the AP side of things. He can only use it twice in a battle though. So when you're hitting auto on survival roads, that means in the 20 to 25 stage of a section, for instance, the entire of Elite, he would only be able to do this twice in the entirety of Elite. And then it would reset again for Legendary and so on. But overall, I don't think this is a terrible active, but I don't think this is... But it would have been a much nicer fit on a character that could be used on a defense team. And I just don't think JB is going to be that guy. Now, as we move on to the leader skill, this is where a lot of attention was brought to Jean Baptiste. And it's because he is the first alert character to give crit as an S class or even a 6-star and beyond. All teammates get 40% attack and 40 crit, and he's a rainbow lead. This does mean, of course, if you're going on to SR stages where you can only use alert characters, all of your alert teammates will get the crit bonus. And this has been an issue because there's 5-star like Lopez, Rick, I think there's a Carl, there's a bunch of 5-star characters but nothing else. And now we've got JB to sit on those SR teams, and it is going to work quite nicely because if you come up against walkers into human stages, it's going to give you the 40% attack bonus as well for the human part, and the crits are going to basically be able to give you headshots towards the walkers. So that is a nice little combo. It's not going to work against people in raids, however. I am seeing people talk about it being great for raids. You're not going to get a natural turn 3 rush. You have to have unnatural AP gain to get a natural turn 3 rush with this leader skill. That means Dr. Stevens, Nor, and Andrea. But I personally would just straight up ignore this as a leader skill. It isn't that good, honestly. If you compare it to someone like Axel, who has 40% attack and a huge bonus to AP when attacking, and he also has stun resist on there, much better leader skill. You're going to get your natural turn 3 rushes, command turn 2, and it's going to be much smoother for your team attacking. I mainly see this leader skill as an SR and a farm lead, and I think this is going to be a really good character for brand new people to the game who could basically use this as their global farm character and their stage clear character. I know early on can be quite hard to basically get through a lot of roadmaps and get through a lot of stages when it's got walkers on it, and this one's going to be great. You can use him on the boot camp roadmap and just blitz through that with this guy just alone, but the extra characters on top just to make things a bit quicker. Bonus for new players until they get a stronger lineup and a drop leader. Now when it comes to his weapon, he has got nothing attached, so you have to basically come up with some ideas of what you're going to use here. I would probably go with attack percentage in there somewhere just to make sure that you are getting the multiplications with his rush, the leader skill of any character that you do use on him. And I do think he is reasonably viable for raid attack teams just because of the way the mechanics work around the control. The damage is nice, but a lot of characters provide damage, but they don't actually provide control after takedowns. For instance, you can compare him to someone like Erin, who has good damage and good control, but if she takes out characters, she's not controlling them anymore. And there are some more strong characters coming out that are like defensively powerful, so the potential for JB here to be used on attack teams as a support character is actually quite high, and the fact that he brings damage to the table as well is nice. I think he kind of needed something debilitating that is required. Like if he had a single target normalize on his active instead of this Guardian Shield, I think it would have been maybe a better suit. But there are obviously alert characters in the game that already do normalize. I think we've got both the Gentleman and Andrea. So, I mean, it is a nice... I wish we would see something like that on a defense team character coming to gold bricks. If that active skill was on, let's say, a defensive tough character who had 4,700 defense or 4,200 HP, you know, like very good defensive stats, it would have been beautiful. But it is what it is. I'm probably going to pick up this character. I do think he's pretty good. I would say he's probably a top 3 in the gold bricks. Without a doubt. I'd still say Angel's up there, number 1, if you're a veteran. But if you're brand new, I think JB maybe just pips ahead just because of the extras that you get from that leader skill. And by the time you sort of don't need JB anymore as a leader, the next gold brick crate could come around and you can just pick up Angel at that point. But at the end of the day, it's down to you. Can't really make a mistake if you pick up JB or Angel as characters. You can only really make a mistake if you pick up Glenn. But do give me your thoughts on JB as an S class coming into the Gold Brick Crate. The Gold Brick Crate will drop on the 16th of December. I will probably have a guide out for this character extremely early on his release. If you have any opinions about this guy, please leave your comments down below. But that is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.